think a lot of us know that we are being pushed back into society at a quick, early pace, even for people who are vaccinated and non-vaccinated. It kind of doesn't matter because at this point, people are still being infected on either side of the aisle with that one. But we know that we're being pushed back in because of big industry. And it's like dawning on me, like, is this about television too? Like, we have to continue to program these people. We can't have them thinking on their own. We can't have them on social media with all these apps talking to each other and figuring out who we are. Is it about that? Like, think about it. A lot of shows were canceled. A lot of shows came back. But a lot of people pushed forward with their own personal plans to make something work at home. People were like, yo, I'm staying home. And I'm going to tell you all about my journey as I go along. And more people wanted to talk to them, hear from them, understand their point of view than they wanted to watch television. I think people are glad that their old programming is somewhat back. But also very happy with the idea of moving forward on their own. I'm just saying, I think that I'm telling you, I think that that's a big portion of why people were pushed back. I don't think it really has to do with just big industry. Big industry does well according to advertisements. And if we're all on a TikTok app or the YouTube app, but specifically TikTok, because TikTok is where there are like no commercials there. They have some, but it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like TV. It's not even like YouTube is right now, right? And for those of us who are creators at YouTube, we understand that getting content with AdSense where people are watching those ads all the way through is a good thing. So we don't mind that. But we're talking about things that are more pertinent to the human experience and more pertinent to, trying to figure out this process here. Look at that. What's this? My second day on my new journey, boo-boo. And that came to me. This was all pushed forward so that all these television shows and advertisements and all that stuff can come back. Because big business really... we have some need for it, but not at the level that it's being used right now. Because think about it, people, you're not watching Coca-Cola, right? You might be hearing somebody talk about kombucha. You might be hearing somebody talk about, kefir soda and stuff like that. You might be hearing somebody talk about oxygenated water. You might be hearing somebody that you're just like, I agree with their point of view on this. I agree with their point of view on that. And so you decide to start kind of trying these things. But it's not at the level of programming that, say, radio and television really are. And then I think to see these people with the shows that they kept going with, like the TV show, like the news shows and the daytime shows and stuff like that, they're at home and we're at home. It really took the star factor, like that power out of everything, didn't it? Like you seeing people in their kitchens, you seeing people in their living rooms, you're seeing, you know what I mean? And it's just like, like they're not, you understand what I mean? Like, their influence really went down. And then I think the next thing is to see a lot of them crack the way we did, begging to be able to go back to work because they had bills like the rest of the country and had no bills. I was like, really? Everybody need money right now. What are you talking about? But to see them crack, and then you're seeing the even more human side. I think, we live in a world where the illusory process is such a huge part of everything we think is real. Even to the point of when people are thinking about I like to call it, and I am a person who's a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. I really am. But I will also back away from that and go, okay, wait a minute. When it gets to the point that humanity and their craziness has decided that everything on the planet is just not good for you and everything gonna blow you up, like that doesn't work for me, because I'm also a person who believes in God. And there's God in the Yoruba faith, Olodumare is definitely real, baby. And the idea that something so amazing, so amazeballs, would set up this entire process to fall to the feeble ideas of humanity, and when they all come together in craziness, it's like, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. As much as you saying what you're saying, there's still beautiful green grass outside my home. There's still trees that are growing outside of my home. The cycle is still continuing. So to see that people are so regular, to understand that people started to just listen to each other. You know what I mean? I know that it was already there with social media, but it really took off during quarantine. And part of this process and this push to get everybody back is to get you back to your programming. Think about it. There was a real gap as far as television shows, which means a lot of ad dollars and everything went down. And if all those ad dollars and everything went down, that means you're not getting pumped. Like I have, and you guys know that I'm a spiritualist. You also know that I am a priestess of Obatala. And one of the things that recently came through to me, not even through to me, it came through to my family, and I got to listen to the recording. Spirit came through and said, you all have been hooked on where they took your ability to see, and they programmed you via your ears. They programmed you, meaning you don't believe what's right in front of you anymore. And the programming is so real that we believe everything that's being said to us, right? But if you start to really take face value, I don't watch television. Matter of fact, it's so serious to me, I don't watch television. I caught up on a show that I happened to like and understood why they canceled it as soon as I finished it over at Hulu with all the commercials. But I say that to say I was on Hulu watching all the commercials, and it was just like, wow, this is still happening, but it's starting to pick up. It's starting to really pick up. You know what I mean? And so it's just like they have to get back to programming the human mind around the globe, around this entire planet, because at the end of the day, you can't be thinking for yourself and keeping your dollars at home or spending your dollars on things that you wouldn't really know about if the local influencer is not talking about it. And not all influencers are going to talk about Unilever. Not all influencers are going to talk about Nestle brands. They're going to talk about individual things. But for real, think about it. When we are over at Amazon, there's a lot of individual companies that are springing up through Amazon. They're coming through TikTok. They're coming through YouTube. They're coming through Snapchat. They're coming through Instagram, and they're darn sure coming through Facebook, and there's only more of that to come. So what does that mean for all of us? I think they're trying to get a handle on it, because I don't think they're going to grab their money back. And that's why everybody's just like, oh, the COVID's coming back. I was like, okay, I'm going to tell y'all right now, they're not going to shut down this world again over no COVID. They're not. They're not going to shut this world down again over no COVID, unless there are some people who are really key to whatever process it is that's going on, that are in jeopardy. And I think that they feel like, well, we're just going to keep them home and let everybody else go out there and they can fall. But we're going to get our dollars as much as we possibly can. I'm telling you. And the thing about it is then that takes, I always go here with this conspiracy stuff. Okay? As a person who's very sympathetic to that way of thinking, at a certain point, don't these people go, like, money ain't that important? Like, this is not just about money. It's about something else. It's about some type of resource. And then that's when people get really far out there, and I don't go with them. I don't. I'm a priestess of Obatala for a reason. I believe in this humanity process down here. I believe that, while we're here, there's a lot of interesting things happening, and I think that we have to learn to get through it. And so when I say get through it, I really legit am saying, do you really believe people are going back to work just for industry? Really think about it. Some industries took off. They really did. Like, but then there were people that were not willing to buy masks already. There's a whole bunch of people about to stop buying masks. So those companies are about to go back to what they normally understood. But there's a whole bunch of people that are going to keep buying masks so they'll be able to stay in business to a degree. You feel what I'm saying? The cleanliness, that whole process is going to be a big thing. Still having food delivery services and all that stuff is going to be a big thing because nobody's going to be standing in line in them stores, and all variants keep coming through the news. They keep coming through humanity. It doesn't matter. We are hearing about the different variants and what they're doing. And you're going to get to a place where it's just like, well, wait a minute. Why am I putting myself in jeopardy? Besides the fact that that's what people believe they have to do. They believe they have to go back because of their programming, right? Once again, close your eyes, program. But if you open your eyes, which is what TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, the Reels, the YouTube Shorts, I forget what they're called. They're all in the process of doing this because they're starting to see TikTok came in and took over. Okay? You be on TikTok, you just go. It's to the point TikTok where they have people who are literally making ads or stops in the middle of saying, okay, you've been on here long enough now. There's somebody clearly checking what you're doing on your phone within regards to this algorithm, within regards to when you pick up your phone and went back to hearting and commenting and all this kind of stuff. And somebody says, you've been on here long enough now. Go get some water, go to the bathroom, go take care of yourself. That type of deal, right? YouTube saw it. They got their little shorts coming through. Instagram saw it. Reels are there. Facebook, I think, is in the process of doing the very same thing. Now, let's be clear. If that is all possible, and now people are saying, not only are these people on this app talking, they're making money. I don't even get how yet, but I know people are making money. If nothing else, it's just to divert people to their website. Literally, a link at the bio. For real. Which then the rest of the people who are looking at it are going, there's a way for me to not have to go back to work and deal with that 9 to 5. And I could actually maybe see this planet that I'm on. Hello? I could actually maybe go experience some of them other cultures and that food. Hello? I could actually go outside this country where we have such a serious issue with race and hatred that maybe we would learn elsewhere. The rest of the world does not hate as hard as it does in this country because we got a real problem here. Hello? I'm just saying, I really honestly believe that we were pushed back into society to be reprogrammed by television because the only people who gain from that are those high up in those big corporations. Think about it. Think about it. You think about these big old brands. Like I just learned that Hugo Boss was a company that used to dress the police and the Gestapo. And not the Gestapo. They were the police that were connected with Hitler. Hugo Boss has been around for a long time. Chanel. Like, you start to think about all this kind of stuff. And during quarantine, nobody's worried about what you're wearing. Everybody has been chilling with Amazon, Walmart, and Target clothes. Okay? Because the stuff was cheap. It was getting delivered to your front door like that, especially Amazon. You kidding? Please. And then these little companies on the side that would give you the deals, but they were taking too long with delivery. Side note, anybody from those companies watching, get your delivery together because it is ridiculous waiting 6 weeks for a pair of pants from a company. I'm just saying. All right, getting back to this. They were pushed back in because now you have, they're going to get the buyouts. They're going to get the people to buy from the television shows. They're going to get the people to buy from the sponsored video, the sponsored content within regards to, say, commercials and stuff like that, they're going to get them to buy their stuff because they're the standard, right? Especially design. There's a really nice fly gold dress on this woman. I think I might have seen this on TikTok, to be honest, because I don't watch TV. So it had to be on TikTok. Because I'm not in Facebook that often. Instagram, I fool around because I have content over there. And YouTube, like I have content there. As you guys know, this video is going to go up at. But I honestly am telling y'all, big business is being driven by television. And I know you just say, oh man, it makes no sense. There's no correlation. There's a huge correlation. The same way that you will be, I mean, I've known people who were surgeons and stuff like that, or nurses and all that kind of stuff. They start their own business and start their own practices. And it's just like, okay, well, how does this work? Because there's no you don't see advertisements for doctors. You don't. You'll see advertisements for different medical associations, connected with one big one in your area, but not necessarily just doctors. You really don't see that. Not like we say. But they catch you when you go into the emergency room. Everybody had to run to the emergency room because of COVID. And last year, not only did you have to run into the emergency room, your family was put away. So they got to go in there and do whatever the heck and prescribe whatever the heck to you. That's still happening. It's always been the case. And so when you go into the emergency room, the payoff is they get ready and diagnose you with all this stuff and terrify you because what have they done? Close your eyes and programmed your brain, all those commercials. And you're getting ready to have to start taking all of that medicine, which is indicated for so many different things, which means more medicine, which means, do you understand? It's like this. It just keeps moving. It's a turnstile that keeps getting more spokes and more and more and more and more so that you're never off of it. But the world being shut down last year because of COVID, I'm telling you, or this quarantine, I wrap my brain around and I just go, man, what does one do? What you do is you take good care of yourself. Find some happiness in your life. Really, find some happiness in your life and make a determination, because I've also seen some information where people are just like, I am not going back to work. If the job is requiring the vaccine, a lot of people are going, deuces. If the job is requiring that they come back into the office and they could do this job easily from home, they're also going, deuces. And they're like, I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to figure this out. That is the wave. Now imagine all that energy coming in with the age of Aquarius. Last year, I did a reading saying that Mother's energy was coming into this planet. And Mother's energy arrived. And part of that is people not having to go so far outside of their homes for that brute force process to earn income. The idea that you could actually earn income from your home. And I want all of my Abraham people, my people who understand that being source connected and everything, to understand, for those of us that have been around watching and listening to Abraham for years, y'all know there were so many of us pushing that process on the edge so that we could get to a place where now no longer are we needed to go and become millionaires the old traditional way. Everybody's doing their own thing their own way. It's not the old way anymore. It's literally, I wake up, I have an impetus to move in this direction. There's passion on my soul, and I'm inspired. I'm going to share that with somebody, and somebody is going to hear me and be like, yo, I understand where they're at. And they're going to tune into you because they want to hear that passion all the time. They believe. I'm going to tell you something. When they tell you, when you hear right now that it is all about what you put in your head, it literally is. Why do I keep doing this? I keep doing this and this. Because what that message came through said was that we have to open our eyes, look at what's right in front of us, and then begin to program our own minds. What you say and what you believe about your life on a daily basis is what you're going to live. And I'm going to tell you something. I have the privilege of working with someone right now on a pretty serious issue within regards to fraudulent behavior against elderly people. And the interesting thing is that when you work with older people, you get to sit down and hear that you hear so much history. You learn so many things because they know so many things. But you also, if you're paying attention, get to hear old paradigms flush through them all the time. And what I'm watching, what I'm helping with, what I'm trying to unpeel the layers back and get the situation completely turned around. And it's not me doing it, obviously, but every single time that information comes into me, I'm to the Orisha. You feel what I'm saying? Helping this person out. And what I've noticed is that what's in their mind and what has been in their mind for years, because I happen to have known this person for a long time, has been so negative. And they only heard what was said over and over again to them and believed that they had nothing. Ooh, honey, when I tell you these people came along and took all her nothing to the bank to close to the tune of $1 million, it breaks my heart. I'm here to tell you all, pay attention, open your eyes, program your own mind, because they're about to reshift this and really try and make all of y'all do what they want you to do. And if you don't pay attention and you decide to shift your mind and do what you want to do and begin to program yourself, well, honey, you on a different path. And I'm going to tell you, that's what we as human beings were born for. We were born to switch the paradigm, especially now. Especially now. If you're in my age group, born in the 70s, you're born to switch the paradigm. You are not supposed to stay with the status quo. You're supposed to keep moving. And I mean it. It's like that right now. So do what you got to do. Contemplate big changes in your life. And if you decide to make that change, holler back at me and let me know. Because I know right now, people don't want to go back to work. They just don't. And it's not, I don't want to work. It's, I don't want to work for somebody else no more. I don't. I want to be home doing for me and helping as many people in this world as I can through my voice. And from a place of love. But also from a place of provocation on this day that Mercury retrograde has ended. We are now Mercury direct, just before Jupiter goes retrograde. I say to you all, please have courage, move forward, do what it is that you really want to do with your life, and keep your eyes open and program your own mind. Ashe? Peace.